Welcome to Mountain Cooking with Missy. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make these delicious sweet potato biscuits. They are a really good alternative to rolls or just a regular old biscuit. Perfect for holidays coming up, for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And they're good just for breakfast too. They're so good with some butter, apple butter, any kind of jellies you want. They're just good. So I can't wait to show y'all how I make them. Hey mountain friends, how's everybody doing today? Hope y'all are doing good. I'm making sweet potato biscuits. Y'all, I love me a good biscuit. I've been making biscuits for quite a few years, ever since I was a little girl. I think I made my first batch of biscuits when I was like 9 or 10. So I just grew up in Southeast Kentucky, and we made everything from scratch, and I learned to bake from my mom and my mama, and we always made buttermilk biscuits, cat head biscuits. You've heard all the terms when it comes to, especially Appalachian terms, but these are a little different. They're sweet potato biscuits. I had never made these before, and I had these in a restaurant. I think I may have had them somewhere maybe down in Savannah, Georgia, or somewhere maybe at a restaurant. We went somewhere down in there one time, and we had sweet potato biscuits, and I was like, oh Lord, they were so good. I love sweet potatoes anyway. So put them together with a biscuit and honey child, as my mom always said, they are good. So I'm gonna get started right away. I'm gonna tell you what you have to have for these sweet potato biscuits. Now you want to preheat your oven to 375. They're gonna bake hot and fast. And I've got my griddle pan here, my cast iron griddle, and this is like a 10-inch griddle, and I've got it buttered, and I'm going to bake them right on that. And so you're going to need, of course, you got to have sweet potatoes. You're going to need, this is sweet potatoes that I have mashed up. This is about a 3/4 cup or one large sweet potato mashed up. You can use canned sweet potatoes that's already been cooked, just mash them up. But you're going to need about 3/4 cup of that. You're going to need 1.5 cups of self-rising flour, and you're going to need up to about 1/2 cup of sweet milk, not buttermilk, sweet milk, which is whole milk. When I was growing up, my daddy drank a lot of buttermilk, and we always cooked with a lot of buttermilk. Buttermilk was always on hand, and my dad drank buttermilk a lot with cornbread, and he still does. He still likes it, but he likes sweet milk too, so we always said either buttermilk or sweet milk. So this is sweet milk, whole milk, and so you're going to need up to about 1/2 cup, because you're going to drizzle a little bit in at a time. You may not need the whole 1/2 cup, but it's better with whole milk. You're going to need about 6 tablespoons of butter that's cold. And 6 tablespoons of butter is basically 3/4 stick. And you're going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar. And that's all you're going to need for this. It's really simple. There's not a lot to it. And when they come out of the oven, we're going to top them with some delicious honey butter that I made with Willie Brooks Farm honey. And it's so good. These are good, y'all. So if you're tired of making the same old biscuits, or if you want to make these for dinner, for like instead of making rolls, this is a good alternative. So you're going to start out with your flour, 1.5 cups of self-rising flour, and you always want to even it off. Never pack flour in, you'll overdo it. You have too much flour in your recipe. Always smooth it off with your finger. Like I just top it off with my finger, level it off. And this is a 3/4 cup that I have. This is an old-timey little measuring cup thing that I got somewhere a long time ago, I think at a flea market, because I love old stuff. This didn't belong to anybody in my family, but I snatched it right up because it was just cute as a button. And so I'm going to set my flour over here. A lot of people ask about my canisters. These are Mason brand. I got them at Costco. I think Kirkland's may carry them. But I've got a bunch of canisters, and I love Mason brand anything. I even got the plates. But a lot of people ask where I get them. That's where I got my Mason stuff. Let's set it over here out of the way. Now you're going to put your butter in. You got to cut your butter in, because, and that's why your butter needs to be cold. Let me get me a little knife. let's see. So you want to put your, I'm just going to cut this butter in. Let me get it cut in, and when we come back, I'll finish it. All right, I got my butter cut up a little smaller, and I'm going to use this handy dandy pastry cutter. This is an old one, y'all. I'm pretty sure this came from an old flea market that I got, oh gosh, Lord, long time ago. And it's got some dough blender. Yeah, dough blender to blend flour with shortening. It says that right on the side of it. That's pretty cool, ain't it? It's old. I mean, it's really old, but I love old stuff. So I want to use this to just cut my butter in. Go ahead and put my sugar in. And a lot of people ask, my sugar looks a little browner. It's because I usually buy organic sugar. Because I like the browner or raw the organic kind better than I do the white. That's just me, my preference. So I'm just going to cut this in. So what you got to do, you got to just cut this butter in until your flour looks like maybe cornmeal or something, and it's all cut in, and the butter just in little bits. Okay, so I'm going to do that. All right, now I got all the butter cut into my flour, and now you're just going to put your mashed sweet taters, I call them taters, in here. If you all grew up calling taters, let me know. I did. It's a hard habit to break. Sometimes I still do, but we always call them taters. And I try to say potato, but I still don't say potato. I say potato. But it's a hard habit to break. So if you call taters potatoes, tell me what you call a potato. Do you call it taters or potato? It's kind of, I think it's interesting to ask people, what they call things. So I know different regions call things different, and I think it's so interesting. So you want to fold in this potato mixture here right into your flour. And when you get that folded in where it's kind of, you can tell it's all in your flour here, you'll start drizzling in your milk, okay? And I about got it all in there. And I'm going to start drizzling in my milk. Now, if you need a little more, you may have to. It's okay. You just actually need enough milk to get it to where you can bring it together, and it'll make a dough. So I'm going to have to use all of my milk. And let me get it all stirred. So I want to show you, I did end up adding a little bit more milk to mine, maybe about a half a cup more. What you're looking for is you want your dough to be able to, like, I added a little bit more milk so I could get it to stick together, and it's sticky. So you might need a little bit more milk. I did add probably about a half cup more to get mine to where I needed to be. I don't know, I might add a little extra flour than what I was supposed to, but that's all right. It's still gonna be good. So what I'm doing now is you want to put you some flour out on a surface, because you gotta bring them out of your bowl. Put them right down on your flour here. Set my bowl over here out of the way. A little flour, the top a little bit, in my hands. And you just want to bring them together enough to where you don't want to really knead them, because you don't really need biscuits because they'll be tough. You just want it, you want it to where it forms a ball like this right here. And it is. And now you're just going to form them together and flatten your circle out to about, maybe about 3/4 inch thick. Every how thick you want your biscuits. I like a biscuit about yay thick, like maybe like that right there. So you're just going to flatten it out until you circle. I got mine about like that. Now we're going to cut them out. All right, they're ready to cut out, and I'm going to use my little glass here to cut them out. Y'all have had this glass for 30 years. I've been married actually 31 years. This was my mama's glass, and y'all recognize these? I think they just come out of like washing powders or boxes of oats and stuff. This is where this glass come from. I used to have a few more, and I got broke over the years. So this is the only one I got left, but hey, it's sturdy though. It's a good sturdy glass. And I just love old stuff like that. So I just sprinkle a little flour on the top and on the rim of my glass a little bit. And when you're cutting out biscuits, any biscuit for that matter, you don't ever want to twist. You want to just go straight down and pull up. And you don't want to twist. If you twist, you might seal your edges, and you want your biscuit to be fluffy. You don't want it to, you want it to rise. If you were to twist, you could seal the edges and it won't maybe rise up. So I'm just going to put that biscuit right in the middle, and I'm going to put the rest of the biscuits all around right beside of this biscuit. So I like my biscuits to touch. If you don't want them to touch, you can leave them, separate them out. But I want mine to touch, so I just start putting mine around. So I'm going to finish doing that. So I want to show y'all, when you're cutting out biscuits, sometimes you have the scrappings left, a little bit of your dough. And what I do is I just put them, I just mash it all together again, real gentle, like try to be gentle as you can, because they get tough. They get tough. And so these biscuits that you do the second round may be a little tougher than the first ones, but it's all right. I just kind of form my dough back together like this right here, because you don't want to waste your dough. And press it out again. And cut you some more out. All right, they are ready for the oven. They're gonna go in the oven and bake for about 12 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most. They're gonna bake really hot and fast. You can put them on the broiler if you want them a little brown on top. When they come out, I'm gonna brush them with some of that delicious honey butter. Hey, so let's talk about this whipped honey butter that I'm gonna be putting on the biscuits right when they come out of the oven. I've made this whipped honey butter. There's a video, and I do have the recipe, and I will be sharing the recipe in the comments. And I can just tell y'all right quick how I do it. You want 2 sticks of room temperature salted butter. You need salted butter. I think salted butter just goes so much better on a biscuit or a roll. And you want 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar for it, a 1/3 cup of honey, and a dash of cinnamon. You just want to mix that together. Put it in a bowl where you can seal it up, and you can use it up to about 2 weeks in the freezer, in the refrigerator. You can freeze it if you want. But y'all, the Willie Brooks Farms organic honey is amazing. The sourwood honey is only found in the Appalachian Mountains of the United States. It's very sought after. It is a very buttery honey. I've never tasted a honey like it. I love honey, and it is so good. Their sourwood is one of the most sought after honeys. They have a mountain wildflower. They have a foothills wildflower. And they got different little jars you can get. These little smaller ones, you can get like a 3-pack and try them all. And they're just so cute, make excellent Christmas gifts. So if you have a baker in your family or somebody just a honey connoisseur like I am, then go check them out. I will be dropping their link. But this is going on them biscuits when they come out, y'all. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. Look at there, y'all, at these biscuits. So here comes the good part, that whipped honey butter. And you want to give them a good, generous slathering of that butter, honey butter, because they're going to be so good. So give them a good, generous brushing, and do this while they're hot. They just come out of the oven. I did put mine under the broiler a little bit because I wanted them a little brown. Look how pretty they are. They're as pretty as a picture. So y'all know what time it is, don't you? It's time to eat one of these biscuits, and I'm telling you, oh goodness. Now, I just brushed it with the whipped honey butter, but this is how I like to eat my biscuits when I'm eating them with honey. Y'all, I'm just gonna split it, and that way you all can see how fluffy and light that they are. You can see the steam coming off, and I'm gonna add a little bit more butter to mine. And I'm just going to put that butter down just like that. Get me some more butter on there. I like salted butter on biscuits like this. And now, the sourwood honey, straight out of the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina, going right on my biscuit. I don't know about y'all, but being from Appalachia myself, from the Appalachian Mountains of Kentucky, makes me kindly proud to know that the good Lord only put sourwood trees in the Appalachian Mountains for people to want this here good honey. And it's sought after all over the world. Kind of makes me proud. So, all right. Look at there. So I'm going to spread it because my butter is melting. And I like the bottoms of biscuits. So, okay. Here we go. Oh gosh, them are so good. Lordy mercy, as they say down home. Those are good. I want to take me one more bite. I don't need to be eating these because but I'm telling you, look how tender they are. You can see the tenderness in them. Woo! Them's good. They're good. Y'all, you gotta try these. If you do, you let me know. These are perfect for the holidays coming up. Perfect for your Thanksgiving table, Christmas table with them sweet taters in there. And I love me some hot rolls. Now, y'all know that. I love my hot rolls. I love yeast rolls, but these are right up there with yeast rolls. If you don't want to make yeast rolls, or maybe you can't have yeast rolls, like my sister's allergic to yeast, she can't eat yeast rolls. These are an excellent alternative to rolls, and a little easier because with rolls you gotta let them rise. There's some steps to it. Y'all, you gotta try these. I'm telling you, these will be a hit. Mountain Missy guarantees it. They'll be a hit, I'm telling you, because they are so good. And this honey on top of them, children, as my mom would say, I could eat the whole thing. But I have to pace myself. But these are really good. And I don't make over a lot of stuff as much as I am these. But I'm telling you, they're really good. So if you make them, you let me know. I will be dropping the recipe in the bottom for these and for the whipped honey butter. I'll also be dropping the link for you guys for if you want to pick up some of that honey straight out of Blowing Rock, North Carolina. It's some good stuff. So thank y'all for watching Mountain Cooking with Missy, where it's nothing fancy, just good eating. Bye, guys.